my nice little pastel Easter shirt. Not bad. My girlfriend actually just got this for me. Let's talk about this incredible entrepreneur right here today and how she makes and pulls in $50,000 per month off the ultimate land hack with this and 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 this. And I'm gonna break it all down for you today. Let's go. So this here is Cass, and she took 8.5 acres and built it into something that she calls Enchanted Oak Farms in Florida. Now it's nestled right in between Oakland, Tampa Bay, and Jacksonville. Talk about the golden triangle, right? Check out my last video if you guys haven't seen that yet. She found the perfect little sweet spot between 3 major cities. Now, as you can see, the property is beautiful with tons of old oak trees, and it comes with its own pond, is only 17 miles away from a major river that brings and draws in a lot of folks in the summertime. And she's gonna capitalize that in a whole nother revenue or income stream here I'm gonna share with you in a second. Okay, so I know what you're probably already thinking is that she started with a lot of money, she was given a fortune, or she even inherited this land. Au contraire, mon frère. Is that how that goes? I'm not sure. But no, Cass is actually a single mom of 2 and just purchased this piece of property about 2 years ago, I think less than 2 years ago, for $315,000. And she built all of this out for less than $200,000. So all in at about $500,000 with traditional lending from a bank. If you want to learn more and interested in how Cass, myself, and this dude right here, the method or parts of the methods that we use to find land and what we purchase and where we invest, it's something that I dub the golden triangle method or technique. And actually I broke it down in a really simple digestible PDF with my spreadsheet that I use to run numbers before I build or buy rental properties. And it's all free to download on my website, which is just down below, or you can go to it right here, kaiandrew.com. But yeah, go over there to the website, check it out, download for free, and it should give you a good idea of what we do as professionals when we look at land to buy, to develop, or to build rentals, just like what Cass is doing here. The answer here is simple. She land hacked the crap out of this. Now, I know that Rob over at Rob Built thinks that he dubbed the term land hack. You know, it's a spin-off of house hacking, but...
You know what, Rob? You don't own land hacking.
So her first source of income is she has 10 glamp and campsites across the property that pulls in, I'm gonna give you averages because all of them are a little bit different, but they pull on an average of $100 a night with an average 90 to 100% occupancy rate. Obviously depends on season, but that's about $25,000 per month just off those 10 sites. And then on top of it, taking it to a whole nother level, is she built out a wedding and event venue. And she did this by converting an old carport. That's right, a carport into this amazing wedding venue. And that pulls in between $5,000 to $7,000 per night that it's rented out. And that made up the other half of that $50,000 a month. Add those two together, you get $50K a month in gross revenues. Now her 10 sites consist of cozy and quaint canvas tents overlooking a field and a fire pit, a floating A-frame on a pond, a hobbit cabin, treehouse, and even apartments and a good old-fashioned farmhouse. And like I mentioned, the wedding venue is a carport that was converted into a barn and now used as an event center and a place for weddings. And everything that you just saw took her less than $200,000 to do, and now is churning out tens of thousands of dollars every single month in cash flows. And guess what? That number is continuing to rise as travel picks up, COVID restrictions go down, and people are wanting to explore and get out of the city and experience something totally new. And that's where Cass really set herself apart from everybody else. So if you made it this far, you're definitely interested and you want to look at the numbers. Let's dive into that, the ROI or the return on investment. And I'll lead it with this. The ROI on this type of project or this type of build out is absolutely insane. Let me peel back the curtains for you just a little bit, okay? Let me get the numbers here. The tents cost about $500 each. A-frames and cabins that she built out either herself or with her friends were between $1,000 to $2,000 in materials. You add in another about $1,000 or so for furniture and decorations because these spaces are pretty small, pretty much just big enough for a mattress and then a little bit of walking room, and that's it. You're looking at an average cost per site, glamp or campsite, is about $2,500. Averaging $100 per night, you're reaching a payout within less than a month. In real estate, why I like doing it is because we can reach payout within 1, 2, maybe 3 years, which is an insane payout for any type of investment. Here, Cass is doing it in 1 month, which means she's reaching an ROI on each of her sites of 100% month after month. Let me repeat that. She is doubling her money every single month on what she invests into her piece of land when it comes to the campsite or glam site. And the numbers are even more ridiculous when you start factoring in the wedding venue. Now you see why I get so excited about just normal house hacking all the way to land hacking, all the way to this level, this unicorn level of ultimate land hack. All right, so this is where I really nerd out on what Cass did with this business here and why it's so successful on such a low amount of money. I'm putting up a list right here on every single way that she has land hacked this 8.5 acres. And by the way, I'm sitting on 7 acres and I'm hacking it maybe 5 ways with maybe only 2 or 3 things. I got glamping and then 2 shipping, well, technically 3 shipping containers that I'm gonna be renting out. Take a look at this list right here. And just for all of those who can't or don't wanna pause this right now, I'm gonna read it off for you guys, okay? So she got the house with a conventional loan, super smart. The zoning allows everything that she wants to do and more, which allows the animals, allows the farm, and the exotics, which I'll talk to you in here in a little bit. The wedding and event venue, huge moneymaker, and just a very beautiful, unique space that's very unlike a lot of the other places in the area. And then in regards to actually the moneymaker of the real estate or the short-term rental side, she's got the traditional, think about the farmhouse, the apartments attached or detached from the farmhouse. She got the campsite, the glamp site, and in the future, she now has rentals. So think bikes, stand-up paddle boards, kayaks, all that stuff. Now, when you take a look at this and you compare it to normal house hacking where you rent out a room, or supercharged house hacking where you rent out like an ADU or an entire basement, separate living space, or even land hacking where you have a house on a piece of land, kind of like what I'm doing, and then you rent out 1, 2, maybe 3 other sites on that piece of land to generate even more revenue. This farm here is the holy grail of land hacking because she is generating between 5 to 6 different types of revenue streams, and each revenue stream has multiple levels of creating income. On top of all of that, she still has the farmhouse and 2 insulated, fully furnished apartments. She just has layers and layers and layers of different income streams. Now, a successful business always comes down to the entrepreneur in that game or in that business, in the long run anyways. Now, I'll spare you all the grueling details of what she had to go through to learn these skills, get the experience to get to this point, but in the past 2 years, what she has really been able to do was search for land in the right area. They got Golden Triangle. Again, go to the website, download the PDF so you know what I'm talking about when I refer to it, because a lot of my future videos, we're gonna refer back to that because this is where you make real money. And where she excelled is she found a piece of land with the right zoning. Now, a business plan, the right entrepreneur, all of that can make sense, but without the cooperation of the local government or local municipalities, did I say that word right? Municipalities? I think so. But without their cooperation and their go-ahead, none of this is possible. And that's usually the most difficult part of finding land, is making sure that you get the right zoning and that you can get the right permits to do what you want to do. But in this case, in the state of Florida, she got an ag tourism zoning, which means that it's agricultural tourism. And in order to keep that zoning, she has to have animals on the farm, which actually sounds like a hindrance, but draws in the guests in crowds. That doesn't sound right. Draws in the guests in droves because, again, it's a unique experience. It's Instagram perfect. Now, also in her state, this ag and most other states as well, when you have the ag zoning, you can usually get something called a conditional use permit, or it's already set inside the zoning code where you can have a campground or even RVs or trailers at the park or at that location. Which actually also reminds me, she also has a nice little neat little trailer that I think looks like an ice cream sandwich. Now, like I said before, this is nothing special. Cass didn't have a ton of money when she first purchased this. She got it for $315,000 with the ultimate land hack with a conventional loan because it did have an old farmhouse on there. So she purchased it as if it was a primary residence, just with a unique zoning. Now, the thing that was really smart on Cass's side is that she got pre-approved and she was ready to pull the trigger when she found that right piece of land, because she's been searching so long and hard and knew what she was looking for. So when this popped up, she was able to go take a look at it and was able to put in an offer and get accepted on the spot. Then with the help of friends, getting her hands dirty, a ton of hard work, she did this all on her own. One thing that I always say that I totally stole from Casey Neistat is choose to be different rather than better. And when you have the ability to, do both. Being different and creating that unique experience is that farm feeling in a camp-like setting. And part of that farm feeling is not just having horses and cows, but she also has a zebra, kangaroo, and a brand new wallaby. That's right, you heard me right. Cass has an exotic wildlife permit where she can actually take in different types of animals that we are used to here in the States. And guests go crazy over animals like this, either for photo ops or just being a part of that experience where you wake up in the morning and you're able to feed the zebra right out of your window. Well, first off, I hope it's clear to you that you don't need to be born super smart, rich, or with a silver spoon in your mouth to be financially successful in any of your endeavors or to get into real estate. You do need some basic fundamentals though, right? The credit score that I talk about, maybe even a W-2 or steady income to get that loan in the first place. But to tell you the truth, that's not crazy difficult to do, especially in the United States. Now, between Rob, Cass, and myself, growing up, we probably fell into that poor category or even in the poverty section based on American standards. If you're just starting out into this real estate game, you're doing the right thing by watching videos just like this and digesting and soaking up as much information as possible. The next thing that you're going to need to do is not be afraid of hard work and being able to roll up those sleeves and get your hands dirty. All three of us, we are not strangers to swinging the hammer, crawling in the dirt, and lifting heavy things. If you guys have been watching my channel for any amount of time, you guys know that I am building out the glam site and the shipping containers right outside here. Now, Rob's gotten pretty big for his britches and is hiring everything out, but he knows how to get dirty too. Not that kind of dirty. Now, don't think if you start off at this level, if you're just getting into the real estate investing game or short-term rentals, you don't have to go all out and all big right off the bat. You can start small with the ideas that we've talked about, house hacking, supercharged house hacking, or even land hacking like what I'm doing. Get started with something small, get your experience, build your skills, and slowly roll it into something bigger. Now, I'm still taking on consultation sessions. Just check it out. Go to my website, kaiandrew.com, and you'll see my rates and more details about what's going on. Download the free information, the PDF, the spreadsheet on how to find that golden triangle and how to run numbers. And if you're interested in more than just glamping, shipping container homes, but you want to get into home building, buying raw land, building on it, permits, red flags, funding, all that stuff, let's set up a time and let's talk. In the meantime though, speaking of glamping, my good friend Rob over the Rob Built channel is releasing his glamping course, and he actually has a free webinar coming up next week if you're interested in it. He'll walk you through what he has done, what he has learned, the mistakes that he's made, and what has driven him to crazy amounts of success in the glamping world. So go check them out just down below. I also have Cass's information on there too. Go follow her and borrow the ideas from what she's doing on the farm and see if you can do something similar. It's no problem getting ideas from other successful entrepreneurs. I do it all the time. Other than that, as always, like and sub to the channel. Follow me on Instagram. I love you guys all. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.